In the embrace of a rainy evening, have you ever wondered how the rhythm of raindrops could wash away your worries? Each drop, a gentle reminder that life's chaos can be softened, even momentarily, by the soothing sounds of nature. Nestled in a quaint neighborhood where the streets whispered stories of yesteryear, stood an old house with weathered wooden beams and a welcoming front porch. The house, adorned with blooming gardens that danced in the breeze, was a sanctuary for those who sought solace. As the rain began to fall, it created a melodic symphony, tapping softly against the roof, and the windows glistened with droplets that raced to the edge. The air felt fresh, carrying the earthy scent of damp soil and blooming jasmine, inviting peace into the heart. Inside this cozy abode lived Elena, an artist with a soul as vibrant as her paintings. In her early 30s, she possessed a gentle spirit, one that found beauty in the simplest of moments. Her hair, a cascade of soft waves, framed her face, highlighting the thoughtful gaze in her hazel eyes. Each brushstroke on her canvas was a reflection of her feelings. Yet lately, her creativity felt stifled, locked away by the weight of self-doubt. This evening, as the rain poured steadily, enveloping the world outside in a shroud of gray, an unexpected visitor arrived. Samir, a childhood friend she hadn't seen in years, brought with him a sense of nostalgia and warmth. His presence was like the sun breaking through dark clouds, illuminating forgotten memories of laughter and shared dreams. With a gentle knock on the door, he stepped inside, shaking off the raindrops from his coat, and his smile ignited a spark of joy in Elena's heart. Yet, beneath the surface of their reunion lay a tide of mixed emotions. Elena felt the flutter of excitement mingled with anxiety, a familiar knot tightening in her stomach. The years had stretched between them like an unbridgeable chasm, and the pressure of rekindling their connection weighed heavily on her. What if her art didn't match the person he remembered? What if her insecurities shattered the fragile peace of this moment? As they settled into the warmth of the living room, the aroma of chamomile tea filled the air, wrapping around them like a soft embrace. The fire crackled gently in the fireplace, casting flickering shadows that danced along the walls. Elena glanced at the canvases leaning against her easel, vibrant yet untouched, a testament to her struggles. The rain continued to fall, a steady rhythm that echoed her thoughts, a constant reminder of the storm brewing inside her. She sipped her tea, feeling the warmth seep into her hands, yet her mind swirled with uncertainty. Samir settled into a chair across from her, his eyes sparkling with curiosity as he took in the familiar sights of her creative sanctuary. "It's been too long, Elena," he said, his voice warm and inviting. "Your art must be flourishing." The words hung in the air, and Elena felt a pang of apprehension. It's been a journey," she replied slowly, her voice barely above a whisper. "I've struggled to find my voice. Sometimes I wonder if I've lost my way." A heavy silence enveloped them, the sound of rain filling the void, as they both sat, lost in thought. Samir leaned forward, his gaze steady and encouraging. "We all have our battles," he said softly, "but it's okay to feel lost sometimes. What matters is that we keep searching for what inspires us." Elena's heart swelled with gratitude for his understanding, yet the vulnerability of the moment weighed heavily on her. She recalled their childhood days spent dreaming of future adventures, of art and writing, and the boundless possibilities ahead. Yet now, those dreams seemed distant, overshadowed by her doubts. The rain intensified outside, a reminder that sometimes even the most beautiful moments can feel weighed down by uncertainty. As the evening wore on, the rain painted the world in shades of gray, but within the walls of the house, a flicker of hope began to emerge. Elena and Samir were two souls intertwined by their histories, each navigating their own storms, yet finding comfort in shared memories and the warmth of friendship. The rain continued to fall, but within this old house, the bond between them sparkled like the raindrops on the window, creating a sanctuary of understanding, acceptance, and the promise of new beginnings. In this moment, as the world outside embraced the rain, Elena began to feel a sense of calm wash over her, a gentle reminder that, sometimes, it is in the company of those we cherish that we find the strength to face our fears, to let go of the past, and to embrace the beauty of now. The rain continued to fall softly outside, weaving a delicate tapestry of sound that wrapped around Elena and Samir like a warm embrace. The rain continued to fall, but within this old house, the bond between them sparkled like the raindrops on the window, creating a sanctuary of understanding, acceptance, and the promise of new beginnings. In this moment, as the world outside embraced the rain, Elena began to feel a sense of calm wash over her, a gentle reminder that, sometimes, it is in the company of those we cherish that we find the strength to face our fears, to let go of the past, and to embrace the beauty of now. The rain continued to fall softly outside, weaving a delicate tapestry of sound that wrapped around Elena and Samir like a warm embrace. The rain continued to fall softly outside, weaving a delicate tapestry of sound that wrapped around Elena and Samir like a warm embrace. Inside the cozy living room, the scent of chamomile tea floated gently in the air, mingling with the faint smell of damp earth seeping in through the window. The gentle crackle of the fire danced in harmony with the rhythmic patter of raindrops, creating a serene atmosphere that invited introspection. Elena sat in her favorite armchair, a well-loved piece draped in a soft knitted blanket that she cherished. She cradled her warm mug with both hands, letting the heat seep into her skin. As she gazed into the swirling patterns of the tea, she felt a familiar wave of self-doubt wash over her, threatening to drown her in an ocean of insecurity. "Elena," Samir's voice broke through her thoughts, calm and steady. "What's on your mind? You've been quiet since I arrived." She looked up, meeting his warm hazel eyes, which sparkled with a mix of concern and affection. Samir had always had a way of seeing through her walls, even when she tried to keep them firmly in place. Taking a deep breath, she decided to open up, a flicker of vulnerability igniting within her. "I don't know, Samir. Sometimes it feels like I'm just stuck. Like, no matter how much I paint, I can never capture what I want," she confessed, her voice barely above a whisper. "I look at my work and think, is this really it? Is this all I can do?" The fire crackled softly, filling the silence that followed her words. Samir shifted in his seat, leaning forward, his expression thoughtful. "I understand that feeling," he replied, his voice soothing. "When I write, I often feel like my words are just echoes of what I truly want to say. It's frustrating." Elena nodded, grateful for his understanding. "I thought maybe taking a break would help, but the longer I stay away from my canvas, the harder it seems to return. I feel like I'm losing my touch." "Art isn't about perfection, it's about expression," Samir reminded her gently. "You have to embrace the beauty of your journey, imperfections and all. Remember when we used to sit by the river and sketch? We didn't worry about how it looked, we just enjoyed the process." His words sparked a flicker of warmth in her heart, and she recalled those carefree days spent outdoors, surrounded by the soft rustle of leaves and the gentle trickle of water. They had lost themselves in creativity, free from the weight of expectations. "But it's different now," she murmured, her brow furrowing. "We're not children anymore. The world is so much bigger, and it feels like everyone is watching. What if I fail?" "Failure is just a stepping stone, Elena," Samir said, his tone earnest. "What matters is that you keep creating. You have a gift, and it deserves to be shared. You just need to find the joy in it again." As he spoke, the rain began to intensify, drumming louder against the roof, as if echoing their unspoken fears. The storm outside mirrored her inner turmoil, a cacophony of doubt and anxiety that swirled around her like the wind through the trees. She felt trapped between her aspirations and the fear of not measuring up, a conflict that gnawed at her. "Sometimes I wonder if I'm just chasing a dream that isn't meant for me," she admitted, her voice trembling slightly. What if I'm not cut out for this? Samir's gaze softened, and he reached across the small table that separated them, placing his hand gently over hers. Elena, you are more than your doubts. You've always had a way of seeing beauty where others don't. That's what makes you an artist, and I believe in you. His touch was warm and reassuring, grounding her in the moment. She wanted to believe him, to let his faith wash over her like the soothing rain, but the doubts lingered, refusing to fade away. Maybe we both need to find our way back, she suggested, a hint of a smile breaking through her melancholy. You're still writing, right? How's that going? He chuckled softly. It's a work in progress. I've been struggling with my own story, feeling like I'm not living up to my own expectations. But I think I'm starting to realize that it's okay to let go of that pressure. We're both on our own journeys. As they shared their thoughts, the connection between them deepened, a bond forged not just by childhood memories, but also by the shared struggles of adulthood. The sound of rain continued to fall, each drop a reminder that they were not alone in their fears. Maybe we should make a pact, Samir suggested, his eyes brightening with enthusiasm. Let's check in on each other regularly. We can share our progress, our struggles, and our victories. This way, we won't feel so isolated in our journeys. Elena felt her heart lift at the idea. I'd like that, she replied, the warmth of hope beginning to bloom within her. It would be nice to have someone who understands. With the storm still swirling outside, they began to share more of their dreams, their fears, and the weight of expectations that accompanied them. In that intimate space, filled with the warmth of the fire and the soothing sounds of rain, they found solace in each other's company. As the evening wore on, the storm outside began to shift, the intensity slowly giving way to a gentle drizzle. The air felt charged with a sense of renewal, as if the rain had washed away some of their burdens. Elena took a moment to breathe, allowing the calming rhythm of the raindrops to ground her. Let's make a promise, she said softly, her voice steadying. No matter where our paths lead us, we'll remind each other of the joy in creating. We'll celebrate our small victories together. Samir smiled, a genuine warmth in his expression. Absolutely. We'll inspire each other to keep going, to chase our dreams without fear of judgment. As they settled into a comfortable silence, the sounds of the rain transformed into a soothing lullaby, wrapping around them like a soft blanket. Elena felt lighter, as if the weight of her insecurities had begun to lift, even if just a little. Thank you for being here, Samir, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. It means more than you know. Always, he replied, his hands still resting on hers. We're in this together. As the night deepened, they continued to share stories of their childhood adventures, the laughter flowing easily between them. The world outside faded, and for the first time in a while, Elena felt a flicker of hope stirring within her. If you find comfort in the gentle rhythm of rain and the warmth of shared dreams, consider joining us for more soothing stories. Subscribe to our channel and allow these calming tales to guide you into peaceful nights and gentle dreams. The rain, now a soft drizzle, played a soothing melody as they drifted into laughter and nostalgia, their hearts a little lighter. And as the moon began to peek through the clouds, casting a soft glow into the room, Elena realized that maybe, just maybe, she could embrace her journey, one brushstroke at a time. Now, let your thoughts drift away, and let the night carry you to gentle dreams. The windows rattled slightly as the wind howled, creating a backdrop that felt both ominous and oddly comforting. It was as if nature itself understood the weight resting on her heart. Elena sat across from Samir, clutching her cup of chamomile tea, the warmth radiating through her fingers as she stared into the swirling liquid. The gentle steam rose, mirroring the chaotic thoughts swirling in her mind. She took a deep breath, the air filled with the floral notes of the tea mixed with the fresh scent of rain-soaked earth. Yet all she could feel was the growing knot of anxiety tightening within her. I don't know if I can do this anymore, she finally whispered, her voice barely audible over the storm outside. Every brushstroke feels like a reminder of how far I've fallen from what I once dreamed of. It's as if I'm lost in a fog, unable to find my way back. Samir leaned forward, his brow furrowed with concern. Elena, you're not alone in this. I've struggled too. Writing hasn't come easily for me either. His words were soft, yet they carried a weight of shared understanding. I've spent nights staring at a blank page, feeling paralyzed by my own expectations. The flickering flames in the fireplace cast dancing shadows on the walls, illuminating the worry etched to Elena's face. She could see the truth in Samir's eyes, reflecting her own doubts. But you've published stories. You've shared your voice with the world, she argued, feeling the sting of inadequacy sharpen. Only because I learned to embrace the imperfections, he countered gently. Every story I wrote was a step into the unknown. The fear never fully leaves, but you learn to dance with it. You have to let go of the past, Elena. We both do. Outside, the storm intensified, the wind howling like a beast unleashed. The sound was overwhelming, as if the universe was urging them to confront their fears head-on. Elena felt the walls of the room closing in, the heavy air thick with emotions yet to be spoken. The safe cocoon of her home suddenly felt small and suffocating. I don't want to fail, she exclaimed, her voice rising above the tempest. What if I never find my way back to my art? What if I'm just wasting my time, chasing a dream that's already slipped through my fingers? In that moment of vulnerability, Samir's gaze softened, and he reached across the table to take her hand. The warmth of his touch was grounding, a reminder that they were together in this storm. Elena, you are not defined by your past. You are defined by the courage to push forward, to embrace what you love regardless of the outcome. Art is not about perfection. It's about expression. It's about feeling. The rain lashed against the window, a relentless reminder of the chaos outside. Elena felt her heart race, the weight of Samir's words striking a chord deep within her soul. The storm mirrored the tumult within her, and she could feel the tension mounting, threatening to break free. Do you remember when we used to sit under that big oak tree by the river? She said suddenly, her voice trembling as memories washed over her. We'd dream about the future, sketching and writing stories, believing we could conquer the world. Yes, Samir replied, a hint of nostalgia in his voice. Those were the best days. We were fearless then. Fearless, she echoed, the word hanging in the air like a fragile thread. And now it feels like I'm fighting against my own shadows. Maybe it's time to stop fighting, Samir suggested softly. What if we faced those shadows together? What if we allowed ourselves to be vulnerable, to share our fears and dreams without judgment? Elena looked into his eyes, searching for answers, for reassurance. The storm outside raged on, but in that moment, a fragile peace began to settle over her heart. She could see it now, the glimmer of hope through the rain-soaked haze. The past had shaped her, but it didn't have to define her future. Suddenly, the lights flickered, and a loud crack of thunder reverberated through the house, causing both of them to jump. The power surged and flickered before plunging them into darkness. The storm outside seemed to roar even louder, and for a second, fear gripped her heart. But then, as if on cue, she felt Samir's hand squeeze hers tighter. "Let's not fear the darkness," he said firmly, his voice steady. "Let's find our light within it." With a newfound resolve, Elena took a deep breath. The darkness was not an enemy. It was an invitation to explore the depths of her creativity, to dive into the unknown. She remembered the joy she once found in her art, the way the colors danced on the canvas, uninhibited by judgment or expectation. "Okay," she whispered, feeling the warmth of Samir's hand anchoring her. "I want to try again. I want to embrace the beauty of creating, even if it's messy and imperfect." Just then, the storm began to shift. The rain slowed to a gentle patter, a soothing lullaby that washed over the house. The distant rumble of thunder faded, leaving a serene silence in its wake. The calm that followed felt like a cleansing, as if nature herself were saying it was time to let go. "Elena," Samir said softly as the rain began to taper off, "sometimes we need to weather the storm to find our clarity, and sometimes the storms in life bring us closer to the ones we care about most." With that, the lights flickered back on, bathing the room in a warm, golden glow. For a moment, they both sat in silence, the air thick with unspoken words and shared understanding. The calm that followed felt like a cleansing, as if nature herself were saying it was time to let go. "Elena," Samir said softly, as the rain began to taper off, "sometimes we need to weather the storm to find our clarity, and sometimes the storms in life bring us closer to the ones we care about most." With that, the lights flickered back on, bathing the room in a warm, golden glow. For a moment, they both sat in silence, the air thick with unspoken words and shared understanding. The storm had transformed into a gentle drizzle, and outside, the world glistened, reborn. Elena turned to Samir, her heart swelling with gratitude. "Thank you for being here for me, for reminding me that it's okay to be vulnerable." "Always," he replied with a soft smile. "We're in this together." As the rain continued to lightly tap against the window, the two friends shared stories and laughter, weaving a tapestry of memories that felt rich and comforting. Each word they spoke was a stroke of color on the canvas of their friendship, vibrant and full of life. In that cozy room, beneath the soft glow of the lights, Elena felt a sense of peace envelop her. She realized that her journey was not just about individual success, but about the connections forged along the way. The storm had stirred her emotions, but it had also ignited a spark, a reminder that creativity thrived in the midst of vulnerability. And as they shared their hopes and dreams, the rain now felt like a gentle embrace, a nurturing force that washed away the doubts of yesterday. The world outside transformed into a serene landscape, illuminated by the soft glow of the moon breaking through the clouds. With the storm behind them, Elena and Samir made a pact to support one another. They would meet regularly to share their progress, to inspire and uplift each other, no matter how daunting the path ahead seemed. As the night deepened, a calming silence settled over the house, wrapping them in a blanket of tranquility. The rain had become a soothing lullaby, inviting thoughts of peace and acceptance. The worries that once clouded Elena's mind began to fade, replaced by a sense of clarity and purpose. "Now," she whispered, looking out into the night, "let's create something beautiful." And in that moment, beneath the rain, the old house stood resilient, cradling the dreams of two friends who had found their way back to each other and to themselves. The world outside shimmered with possibilities, and as the night carried them gently into dreams, they knew they had weathered the storm together. Now, let your thoughts drift away, and let the night carry you to gentle dreams. As the storm outside begins to soften, the sound of raindrops shifts from a torrential downpour to a gentle patter, creating a soothing rhythm that envelops Elena and Samir in the warmth of their shared space. The air, now fragrant with the sweet smell of petrichor, invites a sense of calm that settles over their hearts like a soft blanket. Elena gazes out of the window, watching as the last remnants of rain cling to the leaves, glistening under the soft glow of the moon that dares to peek through the clouds. Each droplet seems like a tiny gem, reminding her of the beauty that can emerge from even the stormiest of days. She takes a deep breath, feeling the weight of her previous worries begin to lift. "I think I finally understand," she whispers, her voice barely breaking the serene silence. "It's not about perfection, is it? It's about the journey and the stories we weave along the way." Samir, sitting comfortably in the armchair opposite her, nods thoughtfully, his eyes sparkling with understanding. "Exactly. Life, like art, is a series of moments, each one imperfect yet beautiful in its own way. It's those moments that define us. Elena's heart swells with gratitude for this moment of clarity, a realization that had eluded her for so long. She reflects on her journey as an artist, the late nights spent with brush in hand, the countless canvases that had seen more of her frustration than her joy. Yet, amidst the struggle, there had always been beauty, waiting to be uncovered. She turns back to her easel, where a half-finished painting stands, a colorful depiction of a serene landscape that had once filled her with excitement. Now she sees it anew, recognizing the potential it holds, not as a perfect piece, but as a testament to her growth and courage. "Can we promise to inspire each other?" Elena asks, her voice steady and sincere. "To be there for one another as we chase our dreams?" Samir smiles, a warmth radiating from him that fills the room. "Of course, we'll be each other's greatest supporters. No more hiding behind our fears. Let's create and share, not just with the world, but with each other." The weight of unshared dreams and unspoken fears feels lighter now, as if the storm had not only washed the world outside, but had also cleansed their hearts. With a renewed sense of purpose, Elena picks up her brush, feeling the smooth wood in her hand, the familiar texture sparking a sense of excitement that she thought she had lost. Together, they share stories of their childhood, their laughter mingling with the soft sounds of the rain. Each memory they revisit, each laugh they share, ignites a spark of inspiration within Elena. She begins to paint again, her brush dancing over the canvas, creating strokes of color that reflect not just the world outside, but the emotions stirring within her: hope, joy, and the acceptance of imperfection. As the last of the rain falls, the moonlight spills into the room, illuminating their shared space with a gentle glow. It feels as if the universe is embracing them both, reminding them that they are never alone in their journeys. They are two friends, united by their dreams, standing firm against the tides of self-doubt. The night unfolds gently, cradling them in its warmth. Elena looks up from her work to find Samir engrossed in his writing, the soft scratch of his pen filling the quiet. She smiles, feeling a profound sense of connection, not just to him, but to the universe itself. She understands now that every artist, every creator, walks a path filled with uncertainties, but it is in the sharing of these journeys that they find their strength. As the clock ticks softly in the background, marking the passage of time, Elena feels a sense of peace envelop her. The storm has passed, leaving behind a world washed clean and vibrant. She knows that tomorrow will bring new challenges, new brushes against the canvas of life, but she is ready to face it all, armed with the knowledge that she is not alone. With their pact made, Elena turns back to her painting, her heart light and her spirit high. "Let's meet again soon," she suggests, her voice filled with excitement. "We can share our progress, our fears, and our triumphs." "Absolutely," Samir replies, his eyes twinkling with enthusiasm. "I can't wait to see how your art evolves, and I'll share my stories along the way too." As they plan their next gathering, the warmth of friendship wraps around them like a protective cocoon, instilling a deep sense of belonging. Elena feels empowered, ready to embrace her art with open arms, ready to create without the burden of expectation. As the night deepens, the sounds of nature outside shift to a serene embrace, the gentle rustle of leaves and the faint chirping of crickets creating a lullaby that beckons them toward rest. The world outside is still, the storm's chaos replaced by a tranquil night sky dotted with stars, each one a tiny beacon of hope. Elena takes one last glance at her painting, now a vibrant reflection of her emotions, an interplay of light and dark, chaos and calm. It captures her journey perfectly, and she feels a sense of accomplishment wash over her. "Now, let your thoughts drift away, and let the night carry you to gentle dreams," she whispers softly, knowing that the journey has just begun. In this quiet moment, both friends find solace in the stillness, hearts open to the possibilities that tomorrow will bring. The rain has passed, but the beauty of connection and creativity remains, a reminder that they are never truly alone in their dreams. As the screen fades to black, a soft melody plays, inviting viewers to reflect on their own journeys, their own dreams, and the importance of connection. With gentle encouragement, the voice invites all to embrace their own creativity and to seek out the support of those who inspire them. Remember, dear listeners, as the night wraps around you like a warm embrace, know that you too can find peace in your journey. Subscribe for more gentle stories. Like and share your thoughts in the comments below. Sleep well, and may your dreams be filled with inspiration and love.